Hello everyone, Desert Gold. Beautiful sunny afternoon. It's Tuesday the 12th and thought I'd move on to part 2 of Ibomi's 10 mil need for speed sequence. Before I get into today's part, I just wanted to make kind of an announcement. If I'm late responding to any of your comments on any of my videos, it's due to YouTube's new procedure on notifying you when comments come in. I'm not getting any notifications, and it's only when I check out some of my videos on my channel that I'm even seeing comments that are being placed on the videos. So I don't normally make it a habit to go through and review my videos after they're posted, but apparently I'm going to have to start doing that just to see if I can keep up with it, or make sure I check the notification part of the channel. So hopefully I'll be able to keep up with your comments, answer any questions that come in. So today what we're going to deal with is powdered. And in the first part I mentioned the 3 powders we're going to be using for Ibomi's 10 mils. And what I did is I've laid out the 3 different powders in their respective positions here, and I'm going to try and get the camera up close so you can actually see the differences and what the different types of structures look like, and the way they affect burn rates. So off to the left here is the blue dot, one of the 3 that I told you we would be using. As you can see, it's kind of a combination of ball and flake, and this is how it has its own unique burn rate and its own type of explosive forces. As an aside, I don't know if you're going to be able to see or not, but if you look closely, you'll notice that Alliant must be using a blue dyed nitrocellulose in their mix, and you can actually see the blue specks throughout the powder, giving it its unique blue dot name. Next to that, change the angle here. Next to that we have the infamous 800X. And as you can see, this powder is just nothing but flakes. You can actually see the flat definition of the powder without much need of any assistance. And this stuff is a pain in the butt to meter, but once you get past that and you've got your rounds loaded, this is the best, in my opinion, powder for this caliber as far as pure unadulterated force and power. So next we will go to the 3rd contender. So given the physical characteristics of this powder, you can see, as I mentioned in the first part, how easy it would be with this powder to do what they call double charging. If you're not paying attention or get distracted, it is very easy to fit 2 of these loads into the case. You have to excuse all the background noise. The street is unusually busy today. People getting out into the beautiful 85-degree sunny weather today. Anyway, back to this. We have the 3 powders, as you see, and as you can see, this powder as a fine ball powder would have completely different burn characteristics than the other two. So, reiterating on what I mentioned in the first video, you can see the flake of the 800X by IMR is a lot larger than the ball flake combination of Blue Dot, and exceedingly larger than the fine granular ball powder of number 9 by Accurate Arms. So what I'm going to do is set up, and I'm going to take up a little of your time and do some 800X loading for some of Ebomi's 10 mils. Hey Ebomi, just to let you know what the temperature is here today. I don't know what it is in Minnesota right now, but I venture to say it's a lot chillier than this. In fact, I'm actually sweating out here. It's almost getting time for a beer, and beer 30. But first, let's get your first 800X loads going. So here's a test for you. Getting ready for the first batch of 800X, as I mentioned. But my powder feeder already had powder in it. And a good practice to get into for new reloaders is to always leave the container on the workbench of the powder you're using. In this case, I've got 3 containers on my workbench. That is a rookie mistake, but let's see if I show you what's in this hopper, if you can guess which powder I was last using. Let's see if I can get this in frame here for you. You see it? What do you see? You see flakes, flaky powder. See some ball in there too, right? What am I also seeing in there? You guys see it? Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. I'm not sure how this is coming out. What do you see? See some blue in there? I think I do. Yes. If you guess Blue Dot, you're absolutely right. Okay, let's empty this and we'll load it with some 800X. Alright, so I'll also use this opportunity to refresh on some very basics involved with reloading. We've got our components. Here's the Starline nickel plated brass that I'll be using for this run of 10. I'll also be using the CCI 350 Magnum large pistol primer. You want a good fire under all of that powder, and the thicker walls of a Magnum primer are conducive for the pressures that this round is going to produce. As you see, I've got the primers in a standard primer tray. Some are facing up, some are facing in their proper position, so I need to get them all oriented in the same direction. Very simple task to do that with one of these primer trays. You just start giving it a little rock and roll, shake and bake. There you have it. They're all oriented in the proper position. Now take your cover tray, flip them over, good to go. So basically pretty straightforward again. Get your primer feeder tube, start picking them up. Alright, got them in the tube. And pull the pin out, tap, primer tube feeder, and all the primers are now in the tube. So we are ready for that big step. We're going to start assembling some 10mm high speed 180 grains. You're all familiar with the process of a progressive press. I'm not going to bore you with that. I've got other older videos you can do that with. Starline press, station 1. Prime. Move to station 2. Reload station 1. Yada yada yada. Station 2 is going to feed the powder. And station 1 is primed. I have the pin out on station 3 so I can get the shells in and out without putting the little retainer pins in and out, and I'll show you why. Makes it easier to get out. Like I said, you've got your powder charge 800X in there. This powder dictates that you check almost every single weight that you load a case with. So let's see where we're at. Alright, so I'm kind of intentionally leaving the readout out of viewing range because this load is geared for my weapons, and well, I'm sure that I would love to give specific load data on this particular load. It is not indicated in a lot of weapons, or stock setups I should say. Came out at a good almost 2 grams shy of what I want, so let's kick it up. Next, still about a 1.5 grams. We will keep moving up. So now it's time to take one of these beautiful little 180 grain spear gold dots and place it in its station. Everything is set to go for the next round. Now, one thing I mentioned in one of my very first reloading videos was the fact that you got to continually monitor your load station or your powder station as things change and more cases are in sequence. The handle throw becomes more difficult. This affects the powder flow in some cases. So we rotate after I put the primer in. Rotate, and we have our new powder charge. I will check for accuracy on this one. Still a little heavy. Still running a little on the heavy side, so we're going to dial it back just a skosh. I've adjusted this load, and on we go. New case. Bullet seated. Here you see the tension on the handle flexing, and this affects different aspects in the process. And here is the first 800X for Ebomi, 180 grain spear, as you can see or not see. Again, getting back to the crimping on straight wall cases, there is no crimp on this. There you go, Eric. This is your first one. I will continue to move on with that. I won't bore you guys any further. It's the same routine over and over. As always, have fun, be safe, Desert Gold out.